AITA for not supporting my wife when she started to cry at a Swedish tradition. I 52M and my wife 47F already have three kids 13M, 13F and 20F, but a few months back we felt like we could use a breath of fresh air, so we signed up to take a foreign exchange student for a year. We got a 16-year-old Swedish girl that I will call Sarah, and that has worked very good. She's very open and honest and loves to share how things are in Sweden, how different things are here in the US. It was her birthday just a few days ago, so we gathered around the laptop while she was FaceTiming her family, and they started singing in Swedish, but the song was particularly longer and more repetitive, so after the call I asked her about it, and she explained that some families in Sweden sing a song where they talk about shooting, hanging and drowning the birthday person after they turn a 100. My wife overheard this and started to get annoyed because in her words it was inappropriate and extremely disrespectful to her household when she sang that without her knowing. My wife isn't naturally sensitive to bad language or words, but when she was born, she had a 60-year-old dad that died when he was 96, so she is more conscious about how elderly people can feel just before they are about to die, and she felt like the song was making fun of people when they are old and sick. Me and the twins were embarrassed while standing there, so I asked her to calm down and that it's just a Swedish joke song that isn't even meant in that way, but she just started ranting about it was her house too, and she shouldn't be afflicted to such derogatory language behind her back. Sarah obviously felt bad, tried to apologize, and that she didn't mean to be disrespectful in that way, and that it was just her family singing the song, but my wife just stormed out and yelled how she couldn't believe we had taken in a girl from such a cruel family. I tried to talk to her in our room right after I assured Sarah that she didn't do anything wrong and to just pay no mind. My wife was apparently more upset at me for not supporting and agreeing with her, and started to cry about how I knew what she had gone through concerning her father, but didn't back her up. The house has been extremely tense, especially when all of us are in the same room, but I really don't understand how a Swedish song could make her so upset. But I'm wondering if I should have taken my wife's side and been more sympathetic. Ida? Update: I have read all the comments. I was even up late at night to read them all, and am very thankful that so many people gave their input on my situation. I first talked to my wife this morning and showed her some of the comments after last night. At first, she was pissed. I wrote out our personal information, but I explained that I didn't write anything that could trace back to us, and she calmed down. I first want to mention that no, my wife is not jealous of Sarah in that way, and am not attracted to Sarah since some comments said that. And also, my wife is not psychotic or narcissistic. I agree it was a horrible way to treat a guest, and we have already talked to our organization, and they are currently looking for a new host family for Sarah. My wife is still upset, but is starting to feel incredibly guilty and has apologized, but I understand that no amount of sorry will make Sarah feel safe again. Tensions are still high, but I showed Sarah some of the comments, and she finds it hilarious and comforting, and I again assured Sarah that she didn't do anything wrong and dark children's songs are in every culture and doesn't harm anyone. And to answer some other questions, no, my wife doesn't usually do this, and she was starting to panic when I talked to her about what she actually said and how Sarah probably feel being trapped in our house in a foreign country. I also showed her the true meaning of the song by one of the comments, which caused her to almost have a panic attack that I needed to guide her through. We will investigate this further since I know some of you had theories about how it could be menopause, so we will look into that. Again, thank you for the advice on how to face this, but I want to mention that a lot of people assumed a lot of horrible things about my wife, and I wanted to clear that up. P.S. I've already watched Midsummer with my buddies, and yes, I enjoyed it very much. Okay, underscore Narwhal underscore 9200 says, NTA, here's the joke. First verse, may she live for 100 years. Of course, she'll live for 100 years. Second verse, when she has lived for 100 years, then she will be pushed. The Swedish word for push is the same as shoot on a wheelbarrow. Third verse, when she has been pushed, shot on a wheelbarrow, then she will be hung upon a horse. Fourth verse, when she's been hung upon a horse, she will be drowned, same as the word for drenched, in a lake of champagne. It is incredibly harmless and only becomes morbid once the person reaches their 80s, when the first verse becomes, in effect, if not in fact, may she live for another 20 years at least. Cami underscore Sang says, NTA, your wife has now created a very unhealthy environment for Sarah, who is just a teen. Your wife needs therapy because her reaction to a child to say she is from a cruel family, the only person being cruel is your wife. A word of advice to both of you: if you're not in a mentally healthy place to host someone from a different culture, don't do it. You can't expect people from different places to operate in the same way as you, and to call them cruel when they don't. I looked up the song, and yeah, your wife needs help. If she can't process a song meant to be fun, used by a whole country, not a cruel family, because she had a much older dad, her singular experience does not trump a whole country. Also, for her to go off like that in front of Sarah for something Sarah herself didn't do, your wife just sullied the breath of fresh air you thought you wanted. Please do not host again. Fragrant Duty 9015 says, NTA, your wife is being a terrible hostess. She should not participate in foreign exchanges if she can't tolerate cultural differences. Thanks for watching. I love you. Follow Reddit Echoes for more.